What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over my portfolio. I know we talk a lot about investing, saving money, stuff like that. It's one thing talking about it, but it's another actually doing it. So I kind of want to go over my portfolio. If you've seen it before, a lot of things have changed. I've kind of trimmed it down to the companies that I actually like. So this may be a good place to start if you have the same investing strategy as me. And obviously, this is not my main portfolio. This is just what I do on the side in Robinhood. So if I have extra money, I would just put money in Robinhood and buy shares of a company that I really like, which is the ones I'm going to be showing you in a little bit. So first things first, when it comes to investing, you got to have your own strategy, right? So my strategy is I invest in dividend paying stocks because I don't plan on selling companies really fast. If I'm not going to sell them, I also want to get paid for not selling them. So that's how dividends pretty much work. All the companies that I have, they pay dividends. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and hop onto the portfolio. So let me go ahead and open Robinhood here. So I'm going to open this real quick. Alright, so as you can see, now we're in Robinhood. As you can see, everybody lost money a couple of months ago, but a lot of people are back in the green again, and I am. So on the day, it doesn't really matter because it's the weekend. Alright, so on the week, I've gained about 3%, which is really good, especially in times like this. And then on the month, I've gained about 7%, which is really good, honestly. On the 3 months, I've gained about 15%, which is amazing. Those are some good returns. And for the year, I've gained about 1%. I mean, I'm kind of like breaking even here. As you can see, if you look back in March, my portfolio lost about 21%, almost 22%. That is a lot of money to lose in the market. So if you sold your stock because you're losing 23% during that time, you would have lost all these gains here. So you can look at all this. So you go to all time. This will give you a more accurate if you've made money over time. So as you can see, over time, I've had a 1.41% gain, which is really good because it used to be in the red. I used to be negative 24%. So this just tells you that when you invest in great companies that are going to prevail when things like this happen, they're always going to come back up. So you don't have to sell. You just got to ignore. You just got to keep buying and ignore the noise, which is the news, or, you just got to ignore the hype. If you do that, you're going to be fine. But yeah, so that's pretty much it when it comes to the chart. Those are the gains that I've had and the losses. So first things first, let's go ahead and go into the stocks, right? So the first one here is going to be Pfizer. So Pfizer is one of my favorite company. It is trading at $38.36 right now. And Pfizer has a special place in my heart. So it's kind of like Johnson & Johnson. So Johnson & Johnson is one of the biggest pharma companies because it's so diverse in what they do. And the stock price is actually expensive if you want to get into Johnson & Johnson. But Pfizer, I feel like it has a big market share. So if you look at the market cap here, which is about $213 billion, and they can compete with that, So the way they make their money is that they have patents on a bunch of drugs, and that's how they make their money. So as you can see, let's look at the chart real quick. So in the month, as you can see, it's been going up 3 months, 1 year, 5 years. You see they've had, a slight gain. All right, so this is my position. I have about 10.6 shares. Thanks Robinhood for fractional shares. And my market value is at around $400. And the company is about 23% of my portfolio. And my total return is about 3%, which is really good. And let's go ahead and go down here. So another thing I look at is going to be the dividend yield. So obviously Robinhood has these delayed. but they're kind of like around the actual amount. So you'd have to like Google it to get the actual dividend yield. But Robinhood is usually off by a couple points. Maybe this one is 3.8 here. I think it's actually 3.9 something. I'm not really sure. And Pfizer, I think it's set to distribute the coronavirus vaccine in the US. So that might be, something. It's too late to trade on that information now. But, it's good news for them. They're going to be making money from that. Let's see. The next one is going to be Leggett and Platt. This is my all-time favorite stock. So basically what they do is they make parts for things you need in the house, like couches, beds, floor, roof. Like they make parts for that, right? So they're never going to go out of business. And I have about 9 shares with them, and my market value is at $360 pretty much. And it is about 20% of my portfolio. And my total gain, now check this out, the total gain is 18%, which is crazy on one stock. And the dividend yield is around 3.9%, 4%, which is really good for this company here. The next one is going to be Coca-Cola. This has to be everyone's favorite. So Coca-Cola is a great company, right? They're well diversified. They own a lot of things. So you're never really gonna lose a lot of money in Coca-Cola. And if you do, it's a good time to buy. So we obviously know that Corona has kind of like affected Coca-Cola. And this is a great time to buy because this is a great company. So I don't have a big position in this company. I have about 6 shares, which have a market value of about $323. And it is about 18% of my portfolio. And the total return is negative 1%. I mean, which is, I'm not really losing a lot of money. It's only $3 based on my market value. This is a great company to get into. And they also have a pretty nice dividend yield, which is around at 3.4%. Let's go ahead and look on the next one here. It's going to be AT&T. So this is my favorite when it comes to the dividend amount that they pay out. So it is listed as 6.9%, but I think it's over 7% actually. So if you look on AT&T's chart, let's go to a month, 3 months, a year, 5 years, it's negative, right? So other than Corona, what's been causing this is that a lot of people have been shifting from cable to, now they just watch YouTube, they watch Netflix. So AT&T has lost a lot of money when it comes to that. It's one of the biggest companies out there, so they're going to be able to come up with something to compete with companies like Netflix, But I do enjoy the dividends that they pay out. So if AT&T was to cut their dividends, I would probably sell it because, what I enjoy about AT&T is the dividend that they pay out. And as you can see, I have about 4 shares looking to expand that. And those have a market value of $120. And it is about 6% of my portfolio. As you can see on the total return, I'm losing about 11% of this. And so the dividend yield, like I said, is somewhere above 7%. Next one is going to be realty income. So if you're looking to invest into like REITs, this is one of the stable ones because those can be really risky. They jump up and down. But this one is a really good one, and it has a high dividend yield as well, which is at about 5%, pretty much 4.5%. And they pay monthly. So yeah, so I have my position. I have about 3 shares in here, and it is about 13% of my portfolio, and the total gain is 9%, which is crazy. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but I'm gonna call it realty income. Let me know in the comment section below. And for the next one, which is going to be Bank of America, you got to have one of the big banks. Everybody knows what that is. So I don't really have a big position in banks. I have about 3 shares in there, which equal to $75. And it is about 4.3% of my portfolio, which is kind of small. And my total return is about negative 12%. But they do have a nice dividend yield around 2.8%. And the next one is going to be Flower Food, kind of like baking stuff, So they supply this to other companies. It might be HEB, Walmart. They supply to people that sell those products. So that's kind of like a consumer staples. This is a small position, which is I have about 2 shares. It is 2% of my portfolio, really tiny. And my total return is about negative 2%. So they also have a nice dividend yield, which is around 3.3%. Really nice. The next one here is going to be Activision Blizzard, which is a gaming company. They own a bunch of games. I think they own GTA, if I'm not mistaken, but they do own a bunch of video games. I think it's always a great investment. I have 1 share, so a small position, and they've been doing really good, in quarantine because a lot of people, are playing video games. They have nothing else to do, and I have about a 3% gain in total. It is about 7% of my portfolio. And the dividend yield is actually small. I think it's around 0.5. So that just tells you that it has a lot of room to grow. So this is going to be one of those companies that I'm going to be adding more funds into. So these are going to be the companies that I'm probably going to sell and replace them with something else. I just have them now because I just have them because they pay dividends. So I'll just keep them until I'm ready to sell them. But this one is Centerpoint Energy. It is an energy company based in Houston, I believe, and a bunch of other states. But I have 1 share, market value of $20, really tiny. They do have a high dividend yield, around 5%. So these are one of those companies that if they cut their dividend, I wouldn't have a problem selling their stock. Next one is Iron Mountain, which is a company that specializes in data storage, cloud storage. I have about 1 share in this one, and with a market value of $29, which is, tiny, pretty tiny, which is a small percentage, and it's like 1% of my portfolio. And once again, look at the dividend yield. 8%. So I'm looking to sell these last 2 companies eventually. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the dividend yields. But that is pretty much it when it comes to the Robinhood portfolio. There's going to be a bunch of changes that I'm going to be doing, selling those 2 companies and adding 2 more. And I'm also going to be adding to my current positions. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. But thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you want to get started with investing in Robinhood, click the link in the description below. You're going to get a free stock. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.